All right, we're ready. Here we go. All right, London Brown, my man. Okay. How you doing today?
Everything is everything. How are you?
I'm good. Um, Most people know by now that this is our round two, trying to get this thing done. Okay, because you know at DAP we have no secrets. All right.
Yes.
So I just wanted to interview because you're doing some really great, really big things, and I'm just so happy for you and everything and all your accomplishments. And I kind of just want my audience to get to know you and any future audience to get to know you, especially some of my theater kids, because a lot of them have the same kind of background, or they just to I like for them to see that even though you're doing more TV and stand up, that you do have a theater background too.
Yeah.
And what that meant to you. So if you can just give us like a little background on, how you got started and where you're from and all that stuff.
All right. My name is London Brown, or as we have to do now because times are changing, I'm at Real London Brown, and I know, right? So I'm born and raised out of South Central Los Angeles, and I just remember always, just remember growing up, always being really drawn to the arts. Um, at first, I think it was like visual arts and stuff like that. And then growing up, it became more into performing arts. And so I think as early as I just remember being the first thing I was able to kind of do was draw, and I thought I was gonna be an animator for Disney. And then I was a musician in church, so I started performing and doing plays in elementary and so forth. Middle school, um, I got into band a little more seriously, and then the drama club there. And then high school was when I really began to take theater um, a lot more seriously. Then I did a play called, well, let me just say this. Also, in ninth grade, I had very little experience. I had no presence. So I was cut out of everything. Like, literally, I was cut out of all the scenes. And I remember um, just starting out with like I was like first cameraman, and the first musical I did was Fame. So
Nice.
I was just the cameraman for whatever the scenes were. I swept a broom in a scene.
Nice.
Uh, just did a lot of that kind of thing, and then I was still going back and forth between uh, playing in the school band, and then also performing with the theater arts. I was taking the drama class there as well, and but then by my 11th grade year, I did a musical or play called Rebel Without a Cause, and I played Plato. And then that's when it really clicked as far as me pursuing acting in a real way, because I was able to get some sort of return back from the audience, and that live feedback made me feel like, yo, this is what I'm supposed to do. And so from there, I started becoming the leads in the plays and so forth, because I started to develop some presence. And my senior year, I did a musical called, I actually did a few musicals. One was called Hello Dolly. I played Barnaby Tucker.
Oh, okay.
That's when I took on the ideas of tap dance, because it was a choreographer by the name of Channing Cook Holmes. And he came to teach the cast a few numbers. I was like, sure, I'll learn it. And then my senior year, I did a musical called Guys and Dolls, and I was Sky Masterson, and
Nice.
that was directed uh, by Marky Swinton, and that was a lot of work because you know Sky Masterson, the character Sky Masterson was very sharp, someone of a womanizer,
Yep.
and very very cool, and so that was some took some work for me because I'm just a regular guy in school. Um, and so anyway, from there I graduated high school. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I got a job. I was doing telemarketing for the Los Angeles Times newspaper. And it was just my gig. It was just something to do.
Right.
And while I was there, I started learning a little Spanish so that I could sell the Los Angeles Times newspaper in English and Spanish, so I
Nice.
could make more money. But I was still joking around a lot at the job. And one of the bosses said, "Yo, you should do our talent show, tell your jokes." I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." Um, People laughed, they liked it. Then after that, he booked me in my first club. It's called the Squeaky Clean Light Comedy Club or Step Up Restaurant, and I did that. And then I just kind of left it alone because I wasn't sure. I mean, I wanted to do it, but I just didn't know what the next step was.
Right.
Um, from there, my theater teacher from high school, he drove me up to college, got me in a small school up north in California. I took up theater arts there. Um, Still just studying hard. I also got involved in dance because there were a lot of girls on the team. So, some,
Yes.
so I did it. So I did it, and then messed around, and started living my life as a choreographer. Start teaching hip hop dance and dancing and doing and that whole thing. And I got a job to be a theater teacher. And so I was teaching high school, middle school, and high school theater, and giving out grades and like a full on teacher. So while I was teaching there, I also was offered. I was teaching at an after school program, and then after teaching all day like at a regular school, there was the after school. Then after the after school, I was teaching at the Boys and Girls Club in Watts, teaching dance there. So ideally, every job I've had has always been related to the arts or performing. Even when I was selling the Los Angeles Times newspaper, uh, I was still I would pretend to be different people on the phone because I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's telemarketing. You gotta, make it fun or something for yourself.
Right. And so they would, I was on the phone. I think I was like, I don't know, 18. And then, people would call. And I remember one of the ones I did Denzel Washington. They would call, say, um, boom, hello. I'm looking to buy sell. I'm looking to sell you a newspaper, and if you would like to buy a newspaper, we got coupons. We got the sports section. Boom, and then everybody was like, it's like, you know, and the girls were like, ooh, I might buy one because you sound. I know that's you, but you sound just like you know. I was selling the paper.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
that got me through that. And then after doing all these side jobs, like I said, I got into dance teaching, and then still doing theater, trying to be an artist.
Right.
And, um, and then I stumbled while I was teaching. They had a fundraiser, a comedy show fundraiser for the kids, and I think I asked like how I inquired about it, and I think the assistant principal like she just signed me up, and I didn't run from it because I knew I wanted to do it, and this might be the nudge that I needed to get going, and so I did this comedy show, and from there I started working the open mics, and then that's where the comedy thing picked up for me, and it started to move forward. So this is some years after high school, and now from here I'm gonna try to just capsulate this whole thing and sum it up. Um, I started working open mics. Under 2 years of doing stand up, I was in a club, and the host by the name of D. Ray Davis, they may recognize him from Wild 'N Out, but he was on. I was at the Improv, Hollywood Improv. Chris Tucker was on stage working out. Working out meaning trying out new material because he's about to go on tour.
Okay.
So the host he says, "Yo, have you seen London?" And then Chris was like, "No, I ain't seen him." So D. Ray said, "Yo, you should watch him." And he pushes me on stage, I do whatever my strongest 5 minutes was at the time.
Mhm.
And I get off stage. Chris Tucker and I, we exchanged numbers. He called me a couple weeks after, and I did like I toured with him from that phone call. I toured with him about like 3 years, and
And
we
you
did
know what?
every.
I remember that because I
Yeah,
was listening to the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and I think I might have texted you around that time and said, "Oh my gosh, I heard you're on the tour with Chris Tucker," you know,
yeah,
because he was up there talking about you and about how funny you were and opening up for him.
yeah. It's wild how it all kind of worked out that way. So yeah, we toured everywhere from the UK to Canada. We traveled in the States, and from there I did a showcase called the CBS Diversity Showcase. And basically, what it is like an SNL in living color Mad TV on stage,
Oh,
and for CBS network. And I auditioned, and they put this group of us on stage doing these sketches, and all the top managers and agents come out basically to scout us. And after that, I remember the showcase it went really well, and I met with every top agent person in casting and manager. So I signed with my first agency, and then they sent me. That was like 2011. They sent me out um, to some auditions, and then I booked my first job with them. I booked the Hustle for Fuse a few months later, or what have you, and we did 6 episodes, one season on Fuse, and that was the creator of that. His name was Prentice Penny, and after that, I was touring with Chris. I was still trying to figure it out because the first season had ended. Even though
right.
one of the highest rated shows on Fuse, but they were going through managerial changes. So I was like, okay, what's next? So I'm still working stand up, and then I got a call by one of the writers and creators of Hollywood Husbands with Kevin Hart, and he called and said, "Yo, have you auditioned for Ballers?" I said, "No." He said, "They're looking for you." He gave them my information. They called me, auditioned for Ballers, 2014, and then um, we did season one. Season one, uh, it was rated the #1 comedy on HBO. And so right now I am in Miami, just finished wrapping season two. So that's kind of my story.
Nice. So what was it like getting that call that you booked Ballers
You,
and it's starring,
you know what?
Dwayne?
It would have been. I got the call. Well, the process. I got a call in August. I went into audition in August, and after my first audition, the second my callback was right to the producer, so I knew that was a good sign. Uh,
Okay.
they liked the fact that I could adjust in the room rather quickly, because on set, directors don't have time to be given acting lessons. You know, they need to
Right.
really tell you and do it. So I think that's what did it. And then there was after callback, there was like 2 weeks where it got quiet. Then I was trying to figure out what was up, and so in that process, I remember when I going to the audition, a friend and I we prayed about it, and then after that, there was no doubt, you know, or humanly we have some doubt, but not enough to lose faith,
Right.
and so I just stuck with it. So really, I wasn't surprised that they called and offered me the part. I was more so just waiting for them to do it.
Okay.
And I say that with all humility, not like I knew I had it, but more so, and not to sound, self-aggrandizing by any means, but more so my energy was just into my faith and believing in what it was I had prayed for and the work that I knew I was prepared to do. And
Yeah.
um, so when they called, I was like, yeah, man, I've been waiting. Like, what's happening? Uh, what was cool is that they asked me, they said, do I have any obligations in LA? I was like, no, I'm not married. I don't have any kids. And so they were like, well, do you have a problem moving to Miami? I was like, no problem. And then they said, well, we're um, we're going to make you a regular instead of reoccurring. And for those watching this, reoccurring is just basically, if you ever seen an episode of Martin, Brumman was reoccurring, so not every episode. And so going from reoccurring to regular, or one of the leads of the show, was that was cool.
Yeah,
That I can appreciate. So
that's great.
yeah, and it was cool. I mean, season one was people dug it. So thank you. And for those of you who watched the show, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, so who are some, if you had to list like a couple of key people in your life that helped you get like where you're at now, who would
Oh,
they be?
okay. Yeah, that's easy. I've been thinking about this question for a long time. Um, it starts with my mother. My mother's is she's. I remember she prayed for me when I was like 10. She was like, God keep him so busy that he won't be caught up in the streets. And I think that prayer was effective because I grew up in the hood. I'm from South Central LA, and so I stayed next door to some gang members, 5 houses down from another set of gang members. Walked to school with them throughout so it was crazy. But I think her praying really set me up to be very, very busy in the arts, and not necessarily even paid, but just busy working. Um,
Right.
there's Mark Eastwin, my theater
Yeah.
director, who
Love Mark.
Mark just gave me Mark gave me the foundation of what this thing called acting is. What
Yes.
that means. Uta Hagen's book, Respect for Acting, and then
Mhm.
Stanislavski's book, An Actor Prepares.
Yes.
So those books, are key for anybody thinking about this thing called acting.
Mhm.
Um, and then there's Byron Nora.
Yes.
Byron Nora just helped to break down furthermore what Mark had already instilled, and just he was like the homework part of this craft. And so anytime I have an audition or something, I get with him. And Byron has a unique way of making me feel like I can handle anything. And that's part of why I go to him, not only just for the homework and the breakdown of the scenes and stuff, but uh, just the empowerment that he gives me. So when I go into these auditions, I feel really strong. And there's prayer behind that. And I just feel a lot more prepared
Mhm.
for what it is I'm going to tackle. So anything I've booked, Byron has had something to do with it.
That's
So,
great.
um, so yeah, and then my friends, I have really good friends who, like some people, some artists grow up and their friends are saying, they put them down for doing the arts, but my friends weren't like that. I mean, because I've always been artistic, so I have some really good friends who believe in what I'm doing, and so that's been great. And of course, God over all of this stuff um, has allowed me to work it out. So
Absolutely. Okay, so what's your ultimate goal as a performer? Like your top dream?
my top dream is to do more of this, exactly what I'm doing now, which is film, uh, or whether it means from film and stand up. That's film and not only just screenplays, but television and stand up is what I like to do, and then those are the main things. And then on a more personal level, uh, to be able to go back and speak to young people and fund the arts within schools because the arts saved me. So I don't know what I'll be doing without the arts. I'm probably in the streets or something. Um, but yeah, that's my goal. I want to do stand up and film, and then inspire people, like go talk to people, and because I think that like for me, I feel fear is the difference between the talented people of the world, like the Jay Z's of the world, and the guy who can rap at the park. It's just fear. Like I don't live in fear. Like I really move in anticipation
Mhm.
of really great things. So I don't think about, I don't even put my energy into what isn't, but rather what will be, or what it is I want. And I just stay very, very focused. But I'm a passionate person. I know that a lot of times people got to go after the thing that they do really, really well with the least amount of effort. Like, like that's just, our gifts aren't for us. You know what I mean? So we got to really, my life changed once I started doing stand up. It completely changed my outlook, my approach. I used to think that I wasn't a morning person. And then I started working on Ballers, or when I started filming even for The Hustle, I had no problem getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I couldn't wait to get up and get back to set. But I used to think I wasn't a morning person. That's because the things I used to get up for had nothing to do with the thing that I was supposed to do.
Right.
So it becomes a different thing. There's like at this point now, passion becomes like the undergird of which I function from, and I live my life that way. I do photography. I shoot that way. So I'm just a really passionate person. So I think it rolls over into a lot of areas of my life.
Cool. Okay, so I have some top threes for you, okay?
All right.
You're gonna give me your top three of these topics. All right. Your top three weaknesses.
Top three weaknesses. And what's the age of the people watching?
Try to keep it as
All right.
PG 13 as you can.
Top three weaknesses. I will say food. I like good food. I like good food. I really like good food. Seasoned food. Um, Shoes.
Okay.
I'm a sneaker person. Um, Dang man. Uh, so shoes, food, and let me come back to the next one.
Okay. What about your top three cities?
Oh, easy. Los Angeles, New York, and Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. What about your top three favorite actors?
Top three favorite actors would be um, first one off top, Denzel Washington. Um,
Absolutely.
that's off top. I'm trying to think of there's a couple actors where I say, man, you know what? I might I might mess around and throw. Oh, Johnny Depp. Johnny
Mm-hmm.
Depp gets busy.
Yeah.
Uh, he's cold, man. And it's, and not to go, go into this, but now we're talking about somebody due for an Oscar. That's the guy who's due for an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say maybe those two, and then man, that's a good one. I might go with. There's a few. I might go with. Doggone it. I might go with. There's a few. I'm thinking about maybe.
You're trying to say Forrest Whitaker, aren't you?
Maybe I'm thinking Forrest because he has a subtlety in his performances, and I'd be like, it just comes from a really grounded place when he
Mm-hmm.
performs. It's subtle, like he did Taken 3, and he makes great choices. And Taken 3, he plays a cop who's trying to take down Liam Neeson's character or whatever, and he grabbed this rubber band, and anytime he wanted to show like some sort of distress or thinking, he would like pull on his rubber band, and it was very, very subtle. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a great choice. Brad Pitt is really good for making busyness, like in all the oceans, like he's always eating and little stuff like that. And I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, those are just really like great choices, you know. So I go with those three.
Okay. What about actresses?
Actresses. Oh wait. Okay. Um, Actresses. I like I like Angela. I like Angela Bassett. I think she was slept on. I think if things politically were different, she was due for an Oscar as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they and I don't know, like her when it was that wave. I think
Right.
like dang, it was like a wave that I
Yeah.
think she should have got something for. So now it's kind of tight. But Angela, I'm gonna go with oh man, Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
She holds it down, and then oh man, you're putting me in a. This is quite a conundrum. Um, all right, let me come back.
Come back to that one too.
Yeah, man, this is a rough one. This is, and I like I like this kind of pressure. I'm one of these guys. I like pressure. But I can't.
Okay, I'll give you your next one. Okay, this
Okay.
is going to be difficult.
All right.
Your top three Muppets.
Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta mess with Elmo, low key though. We gotta mess with Elmo. He's classic though. I don't even know why, but he's just classic. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with. I feel like maybe Cookie Monster, man. He was cool, and then I think I'm gonna go with. Let me see. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna go with Elmo. I think I'm gonna mess with Bert. But Bert and Ernie, I'm like,
Yeah.
they cool though. Bert and Ernie was
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, they cool though, cause he had like the high fade. He was all right.
I think.
Um,
Okay, your three favorite TV shows.
these are my favorite three TV shows.
Yes, and I'll let you do. Let's do. You can do past or present.
Okay. Oh, okay. Boom. Martin number one. Martin is number one. Three's Company is a tight second. That doggone
Three's Company.
Three's Company. Oh my! I laugh every time I watch the show. And then it might, you know what? It might be. Dang, I'm going back and forth because I feel like anytime I watch Fresh Prince, like it just always puts me in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Cosby Show does. But
Mm.
then at the same time, I like Bear on the Discovery Channel. Like have you seen Bear? The white
No.
boy who jump off the okay. You haven't he's incredible. He's a white guy who just lives out in the wild and he shows you how to survive
Oh.
the most unhuman conditions possible. But he's incredible. He's so smart. I like smart people.
So
So
you've seen that, Jessica? Oh, okay. Jessica's seen that.
yeah, it's incredible. He's an incredible guy. But let's just keep it. I'm gonna say Martin, Three's Company, Cosby Show.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you want to go back to any of them?
Oh yeah. I'll move on to the next one.
Okay. So far, your top three achievements.
You said top three achievements.
Mm-hmm.
My top three achievements. I would be. It would be actually actually doing the things that I said I would do, which was in high school, I signed my friends' yearbooks, and I put actor comedian. And for me, I sometimes I forget that I'm actually doing the thing that I said I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say being an artist, which is being an artist would be one of them, I suppose. Um, the next one would be uh, my top three achievements. I haven't achieved them. Is the honest answer.
Okay.
I haven't achieved them yet. But if I had to give one, then it would be just actually living the gift that I was given is one, but the other two I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, so I need to hit you up in another couple of years.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'll ever have an answer to that. The way I see it, I'm going to always try to, because who knows? I mean, right? I could say something. I may say, a car and a house, but really, that would be more important to me than me going on a tour. Me going on tour and being able to speak to young people and create and help them find their passion. That would be more exciting for me if to do something like that. And that's what I'm hoping to do with the attention of the success of my career is being able to really go back, because I could talk to young people right now, but no one knows me, and some of them may be underage, don't even know ballers. So
Right.
I get to whatever the platform is, I'll be
Yeah.
able to talk to them and say, yo, this is how you get it. Go. Like, I wish somebody would have told me in grade school, like, oh, that favorite cartoon show you like? You can be a writer on that show. Or you know how you like shoes a lot? You can design them. But nobody told me. And when I was growing up, I'm in the 80s, so it was sports, sports, white collar jobs. That was kind of what it was. But
Yeah.
somebody would have told me I could be an artist. There's a whole nother lane for people like me, but I didn't know
Right.
until after the fact. It was like, oh, I can do this thing called acting. All right, well, cool. So
So
that's what I'm.
that kind of leads into one of my final questions. Is what would you say to upcoming or aspiring performers or artists? Like if you could say to yourself, like you just kind of said, like way back when, like what would you say to any of them who are watching that
Uh,
were trying to
I
get
would
to a
say,
higher?
whatever it is that you really love to do, go after that, because even with school, like sometimes we're encouraged to go to college, and people are taking up majors that have more to do with financial gain than personal happiness. And when people do that, those ideas become very ephemeral, and they'll find themselves with a lot making the money that they feel they should have, but they're not quite happy. I know
Mm,
people with law degrees that work at Target because they just don't want to even really do law, but their mom and whoever pushed them into doing that. And for me, I'm like, man, whatever it is you think you want to do that makes you happy on the inside, work towards that now. Like, because I used to think that I had to be an adult. That's when life started, and it doesn't. And for the young people that are under 25, who had careers under 25 when Wayne started, Justin Bieber, Beyonce, and so forth, they had people around them that pushed them into say, yo, there's something there. Let's develop that and let's nurture that. And so I would say, yo, whatever it is that makes you happy, you should really do that, and don't live in fear. Just move forward. Like I live in expectancy. Like right now I'm in the gym, whether y'all believe it or not. I'm in the gym. Yeah, I don't care. But listen, this is where I go. The gym is mental, right? Like before I started working out, I weighed about 160 pounds, right? Now that I'm in the gym 5 days a week, protein shakes, I read my Lift Weight magazines, I weigh about 160 pounds. Nothing has changed, but it's mental. It's mental, right? So in the gym, not because I even see any change necessarily, but the ideas of I know something is coming up. I don't wait for things to come up. I just move. And before I booked Ballers, um, I was in acting classes and I was just going for it. And I knew something was coming. And so, keep the faith, think big, and sometimes people say, write goals that you can achieve and that are real. What is that to me is my question. Like think think way bigger than that. Like almost to the point where people be like, that ain't what it's gonna be. I'm sure had I told my friends in high school, man, Watch. When I get older, I'm a tour with Chris Tucker. That was too far for my high school friends had I told them that.
Mhm.
Even though I used to,
Right.
impersonate them on campus and all that stuff. And it's just a small, like, that's how that worked. If I would have told you, my friends last year, yo, man, while I'm teaching an after school program,
Mhm.
I'm gonna work with Dwayne Johnson, man. We were like, yeah, all right. I'm like, no, like, I believe you can't. That's another thing too. You can't tell everybody your dreams because people don't think as big as you are. Think as big
That's
as you
true.
do, and they will impose their fears upon you. They
Absolutely.
say, well, you can't actually win an Oscar. I'm like, no, you can't win an Oscar.
Right.
I'm going to do what it is because it's two types of people: ones who say they can, and those who say they can't. And ideally, they're both right. So I just like to move forward without any fear, and so that's what I would suggest. I didn't mean to be so vociferous about it, but yeah, I'm very passionate about this.
Okay. Well, do you have any shout outs to anyone or?
Yes. Besides the ones I mentioned, Mark Swinton, Byron Nora, there's Enns Mitchell, a club that the owner of a comedy club that's in LA who lets me get up and work out so that I can even have material when I do stand up. Um, there's Prentice Penny, the guy who had the faith to book me on my first TV show, because the industry, they like who they like. So this guy was like, yo, I want to go against the grain. I'm going to book a group of people that nobody has heard of. And that
Yeah.
was, you know, the people at HBO who fought for me in the room, to be a part of the show. And then, my family. And, I think it's about it. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Well,
man, I be trying to figure this out, man, because people be like, man, you didn't even say my name. I'm like, I know, because y'all to the airport that time, remember? I was like, dude, that was in '95.
right.
But the people I name, I think that's it. Those people, and I mean those names within the family because it's Byron and his wife Marlette, and they've opened their home to me, and
Mhm.
anybody who's ever fed me, um, let me rest on their couch, um, has looked out for me. I'm very appreciative of that kind of thing, and so
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Mark next and see if he can carve out some time in his schedule
yeah,
to
yeah.
chat.
So
Been real, we stay in touch a lot, and he's really doing big things
yeah,
like you are, and I'm just happy to have worked with you for that small amount of time 10 years ago.
I know that was great, man. That was great. That was great.
And it was a great show, and I hope he does it again soon. I would
Yeah.
love to see the progression of that show. Um, and for all my single women, are you single? I was going to ask you, London. Like, come on. I had to ask you.
I put my focus into my work.
You didn't say yes or no. That's okay.
Am I in a relationship, like boyfriend girlfriend? I'm not in a relationship,
Okay.
so I just but I do. I work a lot. I love working a lot,
Yes.
and so. But it's funny because the thing sometimes that people think they like about you, that's the thing they come to despise. Like I remember I've dated some girls, and they be like, "Oh, you so talented. You be telling jokes and you be doing your little plays and stuff." And then when they be like, "So can we go out Tuesday?" I'm like, I'm working Tuesday. I can't.
Right.
Wow, you so every night? I'm like, yeah, every night. I'm in the club. So at this point, I don't try to go out hunting, nothing like that. I just
Right. You
real
working.
low key. I'm low key with everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are. You are low key with everything, which is, as long as I've known you, you've always been that way.
There's no need to. If it's real, whatever it is, it'll come up. It'll surface. There's no need to go around talking about anything. And then also too, once we realize that our gifts are not for us, because my friends would be like, they'd be like, man, why are you humble? Like, what's going on? But it's really not. It's not some sort of facade of anything. But like honestly, it's like a guy who has a rental, right? Who goes around flossing a rental? It's not even yours. So I feel that same way with our gifts. Like our gifts are not for us. So
That's right.
I'm just glad I was chosen to be the recipient of this thing called acting or photography, whatever it is I do. I'm just
Right.
to be picked. So,
right. Yeah.
nothing to do with me.
Well, I appreciate you taking time today.
No. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And you have a safe trip
Thank you.
back to LA. And anytime you feel like talking, you let me know.
All right.
And we'll keep in contact with you and check in on you.
Yeah, please do. I'm sure there's going to be something cool and exciting. Even if it's just a show airing or something in July, and something's going to happen. I don't know what it is, but something great and big is going to happen. So.
And you gotta let me know when we can get down here.
Okay.
Talk and do.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yes. Check your schedule and talk. Have your people call my people. Although my people is literally me, but whatever.
Yeah, my people gonna probably just be my sister because that's it. But yeah, I'm around, man. I'm around.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And you take care of yourself, and I'll text you in a little bit.
All right. Yeah. Let me see. I'm at Real London Brown. If they want to.
Give us all that stuff. Your Twitter and your Instagram and your.
I'm at Real London Brown. That's on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. I'mLondonBrown.com is my site. I just got to update my shows on there. But yeah, and the show comes out in July.
Okay.
HBO, that should be fun. And I think, or if you guys hashtag London Brown, either London Brown Shots or hashtag the homeless are people too. You can see my photos that I do of the homeless people because I really believe that the homeless are people as well, and we're all just a couple situations from possibly being there as well. So
Absolutely.
Let's just try to be very kind to people as we pursue our dreams. Is I guess the message behind that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you, and the team, and everybody. Thank you.
And the team, Jessica.
What up, Jesse? Though. What up, though?
Hey, just chilling.
Actually, about to go to one of these high schools and get busy with Southwest show. So
Yes.
on our way to do that now.
All right. So yes, I guess please have a good rest of the day, and we'll touch down.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.